Hi everyone, I'm Anna, Cinephile host, and today I will talk about the movie The Terminal. From 1988 to 2006, an Iranian man, Mehran Nazeri, was forced to stay in Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. In 2003, American movie director Steven Spielberg bought the rights to Nazeri's life story. In 2004, Spielberg co-produced and directed the movie The Terminal. It talks about a man who got stuck in an airport terminal for over 9 months and developed a series of stories, including a love story with a flight attendant. Tom Hanks and Catherine Zeta-Jones are the main actors, and the plot is focused on Hanks' character, who insists on going to New York to fulfill his father's wish. Let's see what happens in the terminal. One day, at a busy New York JFK International Airport, a traveler, Viktor Navorsky, arrives and is detained by the airport commissioner Dixon. Because his country had a coup and cut diplomatic relations with the United States, Viktor's passport and visa are invalid. Viktor cannot enter New York, neither go back home. He can only stay in the transit lounge of the airport, waiting for a way to go to New York. With poor English, Viktor strives for his life in the terminal, and he applies over and over again for the entry permission. The airport commissioner Dixon hopes that Viktor escapes from the airport to get rid of the hot potato.
Why the hell doesn't he walk out the doors? Why doesn't he try to escape?
Sir, you told him to wait.
I didn't think he'd actually do it. I mean, he's in a crack. Who the hell waits in a crack?
Dixon sets up a trap and hopes Viktor would escape, but Viktor doesn't want to enter New York City that way. Maybe it's destiny, but Viktor's situation helps him to come across Amelia Warren, a flight attendant. Viktor falls in love with Amelia at the first sight. He then tries to improve his English with books and tries to make money to invite Amelia to dinner. He then falls in a craze for a real job to make more money to treat Amelia to some cannelloni. Since Viktor is quite crafty, a renovation team working in a terminal hires him and pays him $19 an hour. Soon enough, Amelia meets Viktor and she likes him, but warns that he shouldn't fall in love with her.
I have a serious problem. I'm as bad as Napoleon. I just keep ingesting these poisonous men until I make myself sick.
You're not sick, Amelia, no.
No?
No, you little farsighted.
I have to go.
I have to stay.
Story of my life.
Oh, me too.
When they're separated again, there is an interlude. One day, a man goes crazy in the terminal after his 4 bottles of medicine are confiscated by Dixon. Because the crazy man cannot speak English, Dixon has to ask Viktor to translate. Unimaginably, Viktor not only calms down the man, but also helps the man to get the medicine back. Through his interpretation, Viktor forges the meaning of a word in the man's remarks. He insists that the word means goat instead of a father. He thus saves the man and the medicine, and also becomes a hero with the nickname The Goat, and Dixon is told to learn from Viktor.
Doesn't look good, Frank.
I was just following the rules.
Sometimes you have to ignore the rules, ignore the numbers, and concentrate on the people.
People, yeah, I know.
People, compassion, Frank. That's the foundation of this country.
I know.
Yeah.
The appraiser means that Viktor cares more about people. Afterwards, Viktor wins admiration from everyone in the terminal, and with friends' help, he treats Amelia to a special dinner with her favorite cannelloni. At the table, they both decide to say goodbye to their miserable waiting. When Amelia meets Viktor next time, she tells him that she broke up with her boyfriend, and Viktor tells Amelia the story of his main purpose of coming to New York. Amelia finds that Viktor's father was a jazz fan who used 40 years to collect 56 autographs in the famous photo Harlem 1958. He missed only one before he died.
All but not one. Benny Golson. Saxophone. My father died before Benny Golson write his name in to my father. So I'm making promise. I kept promise.
Amelia is touched by Victor's heart and passion for fulfilling his father's last wish. She seems to be in love with Victor. However, before long, the civil war in Victor's home country ends. He celebrates the good news, and Amelia brings him a one-day travel emergency visa. Amelia admits that the visa was obtained with some help from her boyfriend. Victor is sad about her returning to the boyfriend, but Amelia attributes it to her destiny.
You know what Napoleon gave Josephine as a wedding present? It was a gold locket. And on the inside, he made an inscription. Destiny.
Victor watches Amelia snuggle in her boyfriend's arms, then asks Dixon to sign on the visa given by Amelia. But Dixon refuses to help him and threatens to deport Victor's friends if Victor does not follow his words to go back home. However, what Dixon doesn't know is that all the workers in the terminal support Victor. They encourage Victor to walk out of the door and go straight to New York City. They give Victor presents and blessing. Even the captain of security guards under Dixon's commission gives Victor his coat with best wishes. Before Dixon hurries up to the door, Victor is out in front of a New York yellow cab. There he happens to see Amelia, and they give each other blessings with their eyes. Finally, Victor arrives to the place, meets Benny Golson and asks for his signature. In the movie, Spielberg invites real Benny Golson to play himself and perform his famous piece, Killer Joe. And Victor, after fulfilling his father's last wish, calls a taxi and happily says, "I'm going home."
Where you want to go?
I am going home.
Sir, you told him to wait.
But I didn't think he'd actually do it. I mean, he's in a crack. Who the hell waits in a crack?
I have to go.
I have to stay.
Story of my life.
Oh, me too.
Doesn't look good, Frank.
I was just following the rules.
Sometimes you have to ignore the rules, ignore the numbers, and concentrate on the people.
People, yeah, I know.
And people, compassion, Frank. That's the foundation of this country. Yeah.
My father died before Benny Golson write his name in sin to my father. So I'm making promise. I kept promise.
Waiting plays a major role in the movie The Terminal. Victor is waiting for his entry permit to New York, Amelia is waiting for the meeting permit from her boyfriend, and Dixon is waiting for the arrest permit against Victor. Among them, however, only Victor obtained a practical result with his productive waiting. Wish the time you spend waiting is as productive as Victor's. I'm your host Anna, and thank you for watching this episode. Stay tuned for more videos on Funday website, and see you next time!